sends me an email when it hits an error, so
I
I'll
just want
stay
to
on
I hit
I'll
the
stay on
record.
top of them.
I just want
So
to
okay, how do you want to proceed today? What's our agenda?
Okay, so we can go a little through what I did, because what I did yesterday, I put some information into the system and I restructured everything. I noticed, like you said in the email, that um, the way we put information in there was not consistent. So when I tried your new how do you call it, this new feature for exchanges, okay,
Hmm.
um, I didn't get I didn't get good results. So I decided to put more information into the system so that we get something that makes sense. But I didn't try it. So if you want to spend a few minutes with us, just test the new feature.
Yeah, why don't you walk me through what you did and what you were trying to accomplish with some of the things that uh, were sort of like new ideas or whatever, or parts where you had questions or problems.
Okay. Let me. Whoops. That's infinity. Um, I want to share this page. Okay. So let me go to the website. Whoops. Okay. This is the one.
For some reason, my camera is not working, but it's okay.
Okay.
No, I noticed. That's all right.
I'll share the page. It's this one. Okay. So let's use the filters, okay, to take a look at it. Um, it's not finished. I mean, we have to put more data in, but I think we have enough to see what's going on. And then I have
Mhm.
some questions about some of these categories here that you put. So if
You
I,
lost. Yeah, you lose. Apparently, you lose your screen sharing when you go to another page.
okay,
Ah, there we go.
okay. So you see, I did a filter by product, and now we have all these things that I defined as products. We have them here, right?
Hmm.
And let's take, for example, the recipe of the mosquito scientific instrument. This was a mess before. I
Hmm.
think now it's much more realistic. Again, some data is missing, but if you just look at the this thing, so I'm going to filter it. Okay, do you see that, Francois? So let's do it by component.
Hmm.
Do a filter by component. Okay, so you see that the first component is the joint type transducer.
Hmm.
If we go down, the second component, oops, it doesn't work anymore. Wait a second, component
Right.
and product. Okay, because here what you did, you separated product and component. Let me clear design, product. Just wait for the page to update. Slow. Oops. Okay. Product. I filter again because the mosquito sensor is a product, but it's also a component of the mosquito scientific instrument. So I have to click both, you see? So I filter. Okay. So now if we take a look at it, you have the joint type transducer, which is this component.
Hmm.
And we decided to sell the mosquito with a few transducers. I put 5 here for now.
Hmm.
And if you
Okay.
go down, you have the bath, the physiological bath,
Hmm.
which is another product and component. And then you
Okay.
have
So,
the XYZ positioner. And then
okay.
you have
So
the
yeah. Okay, a question here.
Yes.
Um, if I understand correctly, the joint type transducer and the um, sensor are separate components of a scientific instrument system.
You know, that's a good question, and I was thinking about it. The joint type transducer is also consumable. So
Yeah.
I decided to put them separately because after the customer buys the scientific instrument,
Hmm.
he can order more transducers.
Yeah. Okay. So transducers then should be orderable. You should see them on the order form.
Uh, yes.
Yeah. Let me tell you about what's on the. Yeah. Just you can keep this page open and set up. Go to the home page on a separate tab. Yeah. Okay. And then go there. And then.
Here I did some tests before I put the data into the system. So that's why I wanted to walk us through
Uh-huh.
the thing here.
Okay, so click on Create Order on the Create Order button.
Okay.
Okay, so like what is in the? You notice that there are no transducers on that order form. Okay, now let's go to the admin page. Just leave this open. Let's go to the admin page in a separate tab. You know, it's over by your name there. Okay. All right. And you lost your screen share again.
So I go to orders.
Yeah, you lost your screen share.
Yeah, I go to orders.
Okay, okay. No, what I want you to do is I want you to go to categories.
Okay.
Categories. Okay. Now, you notice there's a new field on categories over it. It says orderable. Way over to the right.
To the right. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I see that. Oh yeah.
Okay. So things that are categories that are orderable will show up on the order form.
Okay.
So right now it's product. That's it. Okay. Now you probably don't want all components to be orderable, but you might want to put transducers and things like that either in the product category or create a new category for things like transducers, which are consumable, like consumables or whatever, and make them orderable. Okay. If you do that, then they will show up on the order form.
But the problem with
Is that clear?
well, I think the problem with that, Bob, is that the transducer. Let me open another one. The transducer is chosen as a component, so I need probably to change the transducer from. Where is it? Oh, here. So I need to change the transducer into, you see, it's a component.
Transducer, yeah, you can make it product. Yeah, if you change it from component to product, then it will show up on the order form.
So then, can we choose two categories? For now, we can choose two categories.
Yeah, or like I say, the other thing that you could do is you could create a separate category for things like for consumables, you know. But right now, just change it to product, and then let's go look at the order form again.
But what I was trying to say is that if we create another category as a consumable, then if we come back here at the transducer, we can either choose consumable or something else. Can we choose two categories? Let's say it is a
No,
requirement and at the same
no,
time, no?
no. No. Right now, it's only one category per resource type.
I can see that, but does it make sense to choose more than one categories?
It might. I don't know. I'd have to look at what complications that might cause. What we're using for categories for. You know.
Okay,
Okay. So now if you reload the order form.
I did that.
Okay. There you see. There's the joint type transducer then. Okay.
Yes.
So that's what shows up on the order form. And like I say, it's a really rudimentary order form right now. It's something for you guys to use internally. It does seem to work. Um,
So when you say provider, okay, so let's walk through it. So let's create an
hmm.
owner of a mosquito scientific instrument.
You can, yeah, you can think of the provider as the supplier and the receiver as the customer, but I don't know what terminology is going to make sense within a network.
So
You
here is
know,
Sensorica or Tactus.
and you can ignore both of them. You don't have to set those to anything. They're okay.
Okay, so we
But
don't.
let's say let's say that you're doing demos for marketing. Okay, so then Tactus might be the agent that's doing the marketing. So
Yes.
then Tactus would be the receiver, and it's sort of like this is I'm just playing around with independent demands now.
Okay.
And you wouldn't want to have Tactus also be the provider, because if somebody is, Sensorica, some Sensorica project or whatever would be providing this stuff to Tactus. This would be stuff that you did for demos, for example. Um, so uh, it's sort of like we'll work with this, because basically what we're trying to get to here is something that you can start using for your near-term planning and scheduling and operations and logging contributions,
Yes.
all in context. Now, when you looked at let's get out of here and let's click back to the demand page. If you just go back a little bit, you'll see that.
I go back here, or go to another tab.
No, just go back. It's one tab's okay. Keep going back. There. Okay. To click on one of those orders. Okay, now this is the dependent demand explosion. Okay, this is taking everything. This is taking that order and taking the recipes for all of the products that were ordered and scheduling processes and inputs and outputs and work requirements and material requirements to fulfill that order.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the context for this will be the context for people to log their contributions, for putting stuff on a Gantt chart, for redoing the timeline. I broke the timeline when I was doing all this stuff, by the way, and I'll revive it this week, but I need to redo a bunch of that. So this will be this would be the this is the guts of the system. All right. or are we dead? Oh,
Okay.
oh, he's coming back to life. Okay, you died on me for a minute.
My battery was.
Oh, and you lost your screen share too.
Okay. I forgot to plug it in. Okay.
Okay, you plugged in now?
Yes, I'll share the screen.
All right.
It's always a small problem, huh?
Okay, so did you hear what I was trying to say about this being this demand explosion being the guts of the system in a large way?
That was the last thing we heard, yeah.
Yeah, so all I'm trying to say is that it's worth trying to understand this and see how this relates to your recipes and everything. But at any rate, I wanted you to go back to the front, to the home page, and go to the supply page.
I think we have to. Is this live now? Because I see some same work here. Make mosquito electronic layer. 3 times. Maybe we should redo this order. Once you do it, does it store it in memory or is live? If you come back, it's if you make some changes to the recipe.
This is all stored in the database. It's very likely. Yeah, let me see what's happening with the electronics work there. Let's go back to the home page. Then, if we're concerned about these work requirements, let's go to the work page. Okay, so here we got a bunch of electronics work, and we have. Oh, it looks like what we're doing is I haven't. I put all of the. I got.
Order one is twice.
Yeah, it looks like I'm duplicating some electronics work. Okay, that is on the other page. So that is probably a bug.
We can try to make another order to see how it comes up. Because I did this one before I put data into the system.
Possibly. Let me see what we got. So we got, okay, so we got what is the recipe?
You're back.
Hey?
You're awesome.
I'm trying to find out where the electronics work comes in here on the recipe.
It comes for. I don't think it comes anymore. I think that's another question. that I have.
So yeah, once you generate the dependent demand explosion for an order, it's out there. So one of the things that I need to do at some point is, because this is going to happen again, you get changing the recipes after you create an order, is we're going to have a reschedule, a replan button for orders, when you do that. Or when you change an order as well, because orders are going to change. Right now, no, I don't have any of that stuff in there.
Okay.
There is no ability. Beg pardon?
Can we delete these things once you create them? So let's say I go back.
You can, but you can do it from admin, but it's not pretty, and I don't think it takes care of everything. Let me see what. Just give me a second here, and let me see what that will do. It will not. It won't do a good job of cleaning up. So I need to do something to delete orders and clean up.
Okay.
Okay. I'll get that. I'll get that done quickly. Not while we're in this meeting, but I'll get it done today.
Okay.
But yeah. Right now, I think the best way to delete this stuff. And hang on.
I see like the number 12, 2012, 12, 12.
Yeah.
Are you at the end of the world guy, or?
No, you picked the date.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have nothing to do with the date. Okay, so what we need to do is let's get rid of both of these. Go into. You have to do this in admin right now.
Okay. So.
Okay. So go to orders.
Oops. Can you see the screen? Oh, yeah, I can see it. Go to orders. Oh, I go here.
No, from the admin page.
Okay, got it.
Okay, just go to value account. Yeah, click value accounting, and you lost your screen share again.
Okay, I'm there. I need to share the screen again.
Yeah, you lost your screen share though.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so now you see there's a button up at the top of those. You can click the one on top and it'll select both of those. Okay, yeah, then delete selected orders. Okay, good. Okay.
Oh, so it does delete it. Okay.
Okay, so those are deleted. Okay, now we need to go to the processes. Now go back to admin, stay in admin. Yeah. Okay, go to processes. Down. No. Not process types, processes. There we go. Okay. Now, no, that's not projects.
Yeah.
Processes.
It's processes here.
Processes. There we go. Okay, now right by the name, there's the button on top of all those other buttons. If you click that checkbox right by the name field on right about down a little bit, or up a little bit, I should say. If you click that one, it will select everything.
Okay, yes. And should I delete it or?
Yeah, and then delete them all.
Oh, this that was appearing in the.
Okay.
So the process.
Okay, delete all.
Did I put those in, or they were just generated?
The big pardon?
Did I put these processes in, or they got generated?
No, they got generated automatically.
Okay.
All that stuff gets. In other words, when you create an order, then the system generates a whole bunch of stuff to fulfill that order.
Okay.
From the recipe.
Oh, okay, so when you delete stuff in this state of the system, you have to go and delete both. They're not linked.
Well, no, no. I'm going to give you a button that will delete an order, and it will delete all of that stuff.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Now, okay. So now let's look at now. Let's go. We're in admin again, but you lost your screen share again.
Okay.
So anyway, go back to the click on value accounting there again, and then you lost your screen share every time you're doing the
Why is that?
I
Because it
don't
doesn't.
know. That's something about Hangout. It has nothing to do with the software.
Okay.
Uh, okay, so then now look at commitments. Let's look at commitments and see if any of those are still out there. And I'm going to give you a button that will do all this stuff automatically. Okay, so those all got taken care of. Okay, so now you can go back to and create a new order. And let's see if it looks better. All right.
All right. So
Okay.
let's choose a provider. Okay, my question here, uh, is this for internal exchanges? So the provider is a Sensorica member and the receiver is a Sensorica member that will sell on the market? Or the receiver is a customer outside of the volume network, acting just as a customer?
A customer, it could be a customer. What I'm on, but it right now it has to be somebody inside the network, and you have to enter the order form pretty much. You know, I mean, you have potential, you know, it's like Dilson and you know, your potential customers right now are in the network. You know.
Okay.
What you're gonna want something for customers to enter their own orders at some point, you know, and it'll be more like that will be more like a normal uh, uh, internet commerce setup. This is not. This is just for creating independent demands within the network. Uh, as far as the provider and the receiver is like the receiver is who wants this, you know, in terms of it might be Tactus, you know, it might be an individual within the you know, but the receiver is who's gonna who let's say if we select the Mosquito Scientific Instrument system, when it's made, who gets it?
Within the
And
network.
and the provider is in terms of
Could it be a project, the provider?
yeah, it could be a project. It could be, you know, we have to figure out, and you don't have to put anything in there if you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
If there's nothing that makes sense at this particular point.
It's just questions that I have just to understand. So the order done by the customers, this will be in the future, and maybe here we could, for example, have one project generate an order to another project to complete some tasks, right? So you take care of.
Well, we're going to do research and development work a different way. This is for stuff that has recipes,
Okay.
and and where you want this independent demand explosion, where you want all of the stuff on the recipe to get onto the schedule. So you said, you know, like I want a mosquito sensor for a demo or something like that. So
Yeah.
so who are you that wants it, you know? And then you can, for now, you can just skip the provider. The receiver is who wants it, who gets it when it's done. Okay, so let's say Tactus gets this. I don't know who Anna is, but Anna is probably not the right provider. Okay, so if you need that for a demo, okay, so then you can select the Mosquito Scientific Instrument. Then, like, what's the due date? The due date is up on top there.
Okay, let's keep with the date.
Yeah. So
Why do I have to
yeah,
submit?
you're the one that likes all those 12s, you know. Right? Hey, me. Oh. Now,
Why do I have two submit
yeah,
buttons here? One here, up here, and one down. Are they
yeah,
the same?
they do the same. It depends because if you're scrolling down the page and selecting all this stuff, you might want to just not have to go up to the top of the page
Okay.
to submit the order. That's all. They do the same thing.
Okay. So
So, okay,
I hit the submit button.
all right.
Oh, there you go. Much different. You see? There is no work requirement.
Okay, so here's the here we have no work requirements because you didn't have anything specified, but those are all the material requirements.
Okay. I know why we don't have work requirements because this is related to my other question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now we do have something different than before.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to add something for this one, or you want me to move to the next question?
Yeah. So it looks like now you got a joint shrinking device there. Is that actually a component, or is that a device that you use
That's a device here. That's a device.
Yeah. So it's listed as material instead of device, I think. I'll have tool requirements in there someplace pretty soon too.
Let me check. Device.
What is its category?
Joint shrinking device.
Oh, you're on the wrong pew here.
I am on the wrong thing, huh?
You're on the wrong page. You're on process type, resource types, which is a relationship. Okay, just go for resource type, economic resource types. No, there we go.
Oh, okay. So.
All right. Joint shrinking device. It is equipment. Huh. I wonder why it came up there. I'll have to check that out. That's a bug.
Yeah, you see?
Oh, you know why?
Material.
Let me see. Let me check that out. That shouldn't be there. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for checking that out. It was categorized correctly. All right. So anyway. Okay. So now, okay. But you said you had some kind of a question or problem having to do with work requirements.
Yes. But here too, stereo microscope also.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I see that there's these two things that appear as a.
Yeah. I'll fix those.
Okay. So if I go back here.
You know what happened here is I have on my notes to create a new category for tool requirements, for equipment requirements, and I haven't done it yet, and that's why they're showing up. But I'll do that after I do the delete order thing.
Okay. So I see these categories here: component, design, equipment. Overview item product. Okay. So this is about the question about work requirements, right? Okay. So in the recipe, okay, there is no work requirement.
Yes, there are. Yes,
I
yes.
only,
If you had work requirements out there before, go to the change recipe page. You know, pick something. Don't do the whole scientific instrument system. Pick something that's a little bit lower level, just so that we'll have some actual work requirements that you know of.
yes. Well, actually, the process of assembling stuff, you see,
Mm-hmm.
like assemble mosquito scientific instrument, that should have a type of work.
It will have a type of work pretty soon if you add one, but you have to add it on the recipe.
No, I understand. So,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to see how to enter them into the system. So
Yeah.
let's look at this one here, process type. Okay, it's assemble mosquito, and then you have inputs, which are components.
Yep. You need to have an input of inputs of what types of work as well.
Okay, so then I create another input. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Work is an input. Equipment is that you need is an input. They're all inputs, not just materials.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so
I didn't put,
you're used to thinking of a bill of materials. Okay, this is a bill of everything. So you add an input,
and
so then yeah, so you got resource types. You got all your types of work in there. If you know, so what type of work is it that you need for this?
Okay, I think I deleted manufacturing work.
Yeah, you deleted a bunch of types of work. Work inputs.
Yeah, so what if I add it from here? Manufacturing work. Category is a type of work.
Yeah, I will give you eventually a special button for types of work, you know, so that you'll only get those selections. I haven't done that yet.
Okay, I just created it, and the relation is choose number of hours.
Yep.
Let's 1 hour for now, and hours, and save change.
Yep.
So what I just did, I created a manufacturing type of work for this thing. And then I have to go lower level and take all these components and add work, right?
Yeah. Yep, you do.
Okay, got it. Still have another question?
And it's like what type of work, you know, does it make sense to have, you know, and the type of work that's where you start getting into those are what used to be roles. Okay?
Yes, got it, yeah.
So, you know, so you have like what type of work do you actually want here, you know? Is it standard, you know, just sort of generic manufacturing assembly, or do you need some electronic skills or chemical skills or design skills, you know, or whatever it is that's required?
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. What about overview item? What is this category?
Overview items shouldn't show up here. Those are the things, I added those for that overview network diagram. Okay, because I didn't want to have everything in the world on that. I wanted to have it be simple enough so it would be readable, and so you know those categories are you're never going to find those on a recipe. You know, maybe I should do something with those to get them off the recipe pages altogether. And maybe we'll just get rid of those eventually, and we'll figure out, you know, what should be the overview. I think a simple overview of Sensorica as a value network is useful, you know, for people coming in to look at it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What we got is probably not what you're going to want to end up with, but that's what it is right now. That's what those are.
Okay. What about design?
um, um, design is something that you should put if you need an input of a design, you know, then and it's worth tracking that, or it's a design that is, in other words, the designs are contributions. Uh, um, and we haven't worked out exactly how that's going to work, but let's say a bunch of you, including I'm thinking of Daniel in particular, is doing a lot of design work. Okay, that is a contribution to all of the products that use that design. So that should actually be an input to the products, where you do have a design that's used for manufacturing a product, whether it be a product design or a component design or a process design, then those should be inputs. And particularly if it's a design that you don't have yet, we need a design, then it's like then you need some design work to make that design, to create the design. I mean, I wouldn't worry a whole lot about that yet, because I think there's a little bit more work that needs to be done in order to figure out how designs fit in here. But I'm thinking, as far as part of the value equation, they are eligible for, designs are contributions that are eligible for income distribution,
So
right?
this ties everything together. So let's say
Yes.
Cactus sells Mosquito version 3.
Yep.
That's a design of the mosquito, and then and then that design mosquito uses another design of, or a certain design of, a joint type transducer.
Yep.
And the design contains information about the people who contributed to it, right?
Beg pardon?
The design contains the information about the contributors, people that contributed to it.
The people that what?
The design encapsulates.
Encapsulates. Okay, I didn't understand the word. That's so. Okay, I understand. Yes.
An equity distribution. So we say that, well, for that particular design of the joint type transducer, this is how many people contributed to it, and this is how much everyone contributed, right?
Yeah, and by and large, I would think then the design will also have a URL, have an URL. So people will consult the design when they're making one of these, right?
Okay.
This is in particular for the detailed process design. So all of this stuff is all the design stuff is work that was required to make the mosquito, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should go in here.
Okay. I got it.
So now let's say you got this design, and this design is consulted every time somebody makes a mosquito. Well, somebody created the design, maybe more than one person, and so they put in some they log their time contributions for creating the design, but then the design gets reused over and over and over and over again. So you got to figure out, okay, like what is it, when you use a design for that, there's a bunch of questions there about, like, how that all gets evaluated. But basically it should be in there somewhere. Like I say, I wouldn't worry about it yet. I think it's probably higher priority to get the materials and work requirements nailed down.
Okay, but this is the stuff that will, because I couldn't see yet how the redistribution will go If somebody orders the mosquito scientific instrument,
Mm-hmm.
how does it trickles down to every individual component and to their creators, designers, okay, the
Yep.
people that
Yep.
participated in R&D, in the marketing, in everything else. So I think now we're touching a little bit this issue here. You see, what is in the system that makes that happen? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think what we can do in the near term is that we can tie in all of the materials and all of the direct labor time that goes into this stuff. I think there are going to be a bunch of issues about design work and R&D and all that kind of stuff as about like how they fit in. So I don't think we're quite ready to tie that all in, but it will all be tied in.
Yeah. Okay.
One way or another. A lot of that stuff is going to have just we're going to have to discuss.
Yeah.
How should it work?
Yeah, because it goes into the relationships of products and components, right?
Yeah, it does. Well, it does in terms of you will have a design for a component that ends up being rolled up into the design of the instrument system.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the other thing that we're going to have to deal with eventually, and Lynn and I have been discussing this, although we really haven't come to a total decision, is versions of products. Because you're going to end up having Mosquito version 1, version 2. You're probably up to version 7 already, but at some point you're going to start selling this stuff, and they'll be out in the world, and then all this stuff is going to have to be serialized too. It's going to have serial numbers and version numbers on them. So somebody is going to call you up and say, "Oh, I need a replacement transducer," and you would say, "Well, what version of the Mosquito is that?" Right?
Yes.
And then you're going to have to look, and you're going to have a record somewhere in the system. So, okay, for the, and I don't know if this makes total sense, but you get the idea. For the Mosquito version 7, it takes a transducer of version 5 through 8.
Yeah.
Someplace in there, right?
Okay. To some very limited degree, I realize now that I started to use features to model versions of the Mosquito, and I use features of the electronics. Okay, but now that you tell me that there's a new thing coming, which is version. I will probably stop doing that and wait for the.
Well, this is what you're doing here is what every spreadsheet hacker always does, and this is perfectly justifiable, and it's a very intelligent thing to do, which is you look at the functions of the system that you have in front of you, and you don't see something that does exactly what you want it to do, but you say, okay, I can make this feature do that, something like that. So I use that, right? Yeah, because I had a question about what you were doing in some of the features. That was pretty interesting. So why we're looking at this? Why don't you select features and as a filter, and let's look at the features and let's see what you did do. I was trying to figure out what you're trying to get at there. I thought that's interesting.
Yeah, you see. So if you look at
lost your screen share again.
Okay. So if you look at okay, I'll share it again. If you look at the electronics here, you have The mosquito with we land. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's something missing here, but that's the idea. So, you know, the option 1, 2, and 3 are basically options of a version 1 of the mosquito, and the option here, mosquito laser driver photodiode circuit, you see that it integrates the laser driver and the photodiode circuit.
Ah, okay.
So it's a higher version.
Okay, that's what you're trying to do then. Okay, I thought they were actually options. In other words, you could use these various different electronic layers. Actually, these are laser driver options, right?
Yes.
Yeah, or the one of them is actually a laser driver and photodiode circuit. Okay, so that's a little bit more. All right. Well, that's yeah. Okay. So it's not. You would not actually, if you were making a mosquito electronics layer now, you would not select one of those other options. You would just use the newer one, right?
Because we're now still in R&D, it happens that we still use the old version of the mosquito. Sometimes when we have parts missing, we just put one together using old stuff.
Okay, so they are actually options at this point.
Yeah, because when you're in R&D, I guess you don't have a mature product to say that that's a version. So things have not became stable yet. You see?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a bit flu here. What's a version and what's
yeah,
because of our state of development, right?
Yeah, well, sure. No, well, this is one of the things that one of the things that is coming up is like, how do we deal with R&D work? And we're discussing it a lot, and we will, and that's where that whole lab notes idea, Francois came in, and and so there's a bunch of other things that'll come in as far as R&D work and versions and all that kind of stuff that we are discussing, but we sort of got to walk before we can fly. So it's we'll get there.
Okay. Well, we need to go to the bank. We have a meeting at 11 o'clock. So.
Okay. Well, I got a bunch of things to do from this meeting. And so I'm going to get you a delete order, and I'm going to separate out the devices, the equipment from the material requirements. I'm going to get you a work input button, and then we can. Then what I want you to think about though is after that, then where should we go next with all this stuff? What's the next step? And we have to decide that right now, but think about that. Then I want to decide that tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
All right. Go to the bank. Hey.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. We'll see ya.
Okay, bye.